hey guys, so now I did get some rest, so let's talk, right? It seems like people just think every week can be a banger, right? I can make $8,000 every week. Well, yeah, I mean, I can have stretches where I can do that. Well, I mean, when I say every week, I mean you're not gonna hit $8,000 every week. You can always be within $1,000 of that if you're willing to give something up. What do I mean by that, right? For example, right, Idaho, right? Idaho, Boardman, that area, right? Pretty much from Boise, Twin Falls, all the way over to the Valley in Oregon, Washington. So what was that? The Tri-City, Kennewick area, right? From there to Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois. Last summer, you could consistently get 68 to 8,000 every week. Problem was though, you got to factor in deadhead, you got to factor in the miles you're running. Because that's 4,000 miles if you're doing that every week, right? You're really only bringing $1.80, but you're getting that gross. That's why I say rate per mile gross. There's more in this. There's more to it than just that. You can't just simply focus on rate per mile. Yeah, I could easily get high rate per mile but rate per mile isn't everything, because if you got to factor in your costs, your fuel costs, your trailer costs, your equipment, your truck. Granted, this truck is cheaper, the trailer is not, but working on that. That's the next year's project. But so I mean, there's still a floor I have to break through before I even see profit, right? So rate per mile is great if everything's really paid off, because otherwise you still got to run a certain amount of miles anyways with a good enough rate per mile to get a high enough gross to cover your equipment costs, cover your fuel costs, pay yourself, which you don't want to pay yourself everything, and also put some aside for the truck. And with down market, and last video I misspoke, when I said $250,000 what this truck was grossing, really I'm a little off, because it's like closer to 264 on the low end to about 270, because it's going to be fluctuations, maybe 275, right? Could be hit hell, even 280, and that's what I'm projecting. It's at least minimum 264 for its first year, first 12 months in this truck. There is no perfect situation out here. I just, that trip from California to Miami, right? Banger. And then, you get into Florida, and you can't even get out of Florida going the direction you need to go. Hell, even going north is $1.50. And I mean, fucking 2 months ago, that going north, you were looking at $1.90, $1.80. And in Florida, that was pretty good. There is no perfect situation. Here's what it comes down to. Here's your choices, okay? $5,000 to $6,000 gross on average if you try to focus more towards rate per mile. Now, granted, your mileage is still going to be up there. You're still looking at like 3,000 plus miles. Or you go into the more longer, 3-day areas, the more northern winter areas, right? And you're doing 3,800 to 4,200 miles every week, but you're getting $1,000 to $2,000 more gross, but you're doing a lower rate per mile. There is no perfect situation. There is not. Usually, here's the rule. Remember, I'm mostly spot market. Here's the rule. If you have a good week, chances are your next week's going to be shit. Especially if it's a high gross week, unless you're willing to sacrifice. And like I said, sacrifice means doing what I did last August, okay? 3 weeks, I made, what did I make? I think the truck grossed like $21,000 in 3 weeks. Yeah, at the cost of mileage. Now, there is ways you can do it without stacking on the mileage. Like, I live in middle Wyoming, okay? So, that's another thing you gotta factor in. I don't live in an area where I can easily get in to the house or out of the house. I have to deadhead at least. Well, Denver's my closest for me to get home. It's rare I get delivery to anywhere inside Wyoming. Billings is 5 hours from my house. Denver is 5 hours from my house. Salt Lake City is 8 hours from my house. I live in the middle of the state, and that has pros and cons. But another thing I want to do, especially in the down market right now, that will pick up in the winter, those areas, because nobody likes running those areas. They have a lot of risk. But I also get to, when I do that, go back and forth like that, I get to go through the house. I can sleep in my bed, or at least go eat dinner at the house, whatever. That alone is worth so much more to me than, I mean, that makes up for so much stuff, right? That's like, to me, like I'm getting paid an extra 20 cents on the mile on that load, because the fact that I get to go sleep in my own bed, see the woman, all right, which has other benefits too. And not to mention, I'm getting to this point now where it's like, I don't really want to spend a month out in the truck anymore. So if I can consistently make kind of gross, like, and right now it's really what it is. Like, I'd love to run rate per mile. Yeah, would I love to get 220, 215, 230 to run 4,000 miles a week? Yeah, I would. But that's not possible. There is no special loop you can do. There is no secret. Now, if you got contract freight, okay. If you got a contract freight that pays you like $1.60, $1.70 going west, fucking take it. Because right now you're looking at like $1.10 to $1.40. Hell, I almost had a connection. Almost. Downside is about insurance prices right now. I lost out a connection I could have used because could have got $2 a mile going west. Downside of LTL shit usually takes all week, but it's $2 a mile going west. You ain't getting that. Like, you're just not getting that unless there's always a catch, right? Always a catch. If you're getting a great fucking rate going against the trends, it means somebody fucked up or there's some bullshit with the load. Like this load, okay? Spoiler alert, this load right now is paying me, well, okay, let me start this over. This load for 949 miles, right? It's not with 10-mile deadhead, right? I picked it up. $2,600. It's going down to Louisiana, right? From Chicago, Louisiana. Louisiana isn't a great market freight, a market area, but it's good for a day hop over to Texas, right? You can usually get $1,000, maybe $1,500. And so it's a good finishing area. Now, there is a good produce that comes out of Louisiana, Arkansas, no, not Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama that goes northeast, usually potatoes. And that will pay like $3,000 to go 1,000 miles, whatever, right? Sometimes more, $4,000 to go up in the like Boston area. But this will pay $2,600, which my cut's like almost 23. It's like 22.88 or some shit like that. It's like 230. Now originally it was like 279, but it's 230. There's always a catch up. Now, and it's real easy. It's real easy to kind of trick rate per mile. You can't. If you do 3 loads a week, right? $1.80, right? $1.80. 230. Like $1.90. Well, I'm over $2 a mile on the rate per mile, even though 2 of my loads were under $2 a mile. So I said there's more to numbers than just rate per mile. But also, like I've said, and it's funny how people come on this channel, they'll tell me I'm stupid, I'm a moron, which whatever. I mean, honestly, you hit the video so much you're gonna just don't watch it then. But hey, thanks for the free comment. I mean, they just helped my algorithm, I guess. I've only done this for a year. Last July is when I started booking my own loads. I'm learning in a down market. I don't know what trends are. Like, I have an idea, rough idea. But I went from contract freight only, pretty much, with occasional, and I mean it was like once a month of that, spot market load, to now opposite direction, right? I can't just get contract freight whenever I want. Everybody wants it, yet nobody can get it because there's so much trucks out here trying to get it that there's 1,000 fish in the ocean. Are you gonna get the one you want? Probably not. Not right away. Maybe eventually, but not right away. And that was a terrible metaphor, but whatever. I can only work with like what I got. And no, my rate per mile is not gonna be great. But you know what? I can see what the other trucks in this company are doing. I am either right there with them, or slightly above them, or slightly below them at all times. I'm not the only one having to fucking run. And I'll be honest, I'm sacrificing all the time because you think I enjoy running at these rates? No. I called about a load yesterday, 2,000 miles. Okay? 2,000 miles. Going from somewhere in Chicago to, I think it was Portland? I don't remember. But it was Washington or Portland. It was one of those fucking two. But it was paying like $1.80 a mile. I am profitable at it, but I don't. Sometimes it does bug me, right? Sometimes, but it's not like I have any other choice. Look at Florida, right? I sat and waited a full day to see if I can get a better load. Now, granted, part of that I was tired. I was exhausted. It didn't happen. So I chose a deadhead because that same day when I woke up, right after sitting a day, woke up, looked at the spot market, sat around half the day, nothing. So I deadheaded 1,400 miles to Texas. Part of that was I needed to get into the shop, right? I had parts there waiting that this truck needed, right? I don't really want to run a ticking time bomb or radiator or coolant reservoir with hairline crack that I JB welded as a band-aid to just kind of slow down the expansion. Because where it was, on the side of those little small hoses in the Volvo, yes guys, enjoy this, but there's a little nipple there, right? Hairline crack. So every time, and those hoses pretty much put coolant back into the tank, so it wasn't drawn out. But so every time it would go back in, it pretty much would drip out. And it was dripping pretty fast, especially under a load. Going from California to Texas, 2 days of triple digits, like high triple digits, like 120. That truck was not happy. I was eating a gallon of coolant a day. Hold on, I'll pull up in a second. So it wasn't like I could also keep holding on and waiting for that to eventually blow up. That needed to get fucking fixed, right? I needed windshield washer fluid, right? Need that. My starter was becoming an issue. I need to get my starter test. And let's be honest, the wires were pretty bad. It could have caused a fire in this truck. So good thing I kind of did it. But this truck's also a 2020. This truck's gonna have wear and tear, right? The cabinets and the screw, the screw and the cabinets, they just fell out. Rattle themselves apart, right? There's things like that in this truck. Both these top cabinets up here, okay? The same piece broke. Yeah, when you pull the little lever, for those who know the Volvos, there's that. If you look inside the hole, there's the plastic handle, and there's a piece that either goes up, depending if you're on this driver's side, up, or on the passenger side, down. And when you pull the handle, it swivels and pretty much pulls up the black manual release and opens up the cabinet. Well, that broke, which seemed like that's a design flaw because it's right where that thing is. Like I don't know. It must be so bad that they changed the whole design on the new Volvo. And whatever. I mean, it's cheap shit, right? But right now, you just gotta do what you gotta do to make things work, right? You do not let the people discourage you and telling you're a moron when either A, they're not doing it, or B, they're telling you they're not doing it and they're doing it and they're full of shit, or C, they also just like they're just trying to like, what's the word I'm trying to explain this? Act like they're not, but shame you, even though everybody's in the same situation. Even though I probably just repeated myself, whatever. If you're grossing on a spot market 260 to 280 right now, you're doing something right. Now, that does depend on the cut, right? Like I get paid 88%. It used to be 90. Now it's 80. 88. Right? When I get my own trailer, I'll get a little more profit from there, but that comes with more risk, right? Right now, I pay for a high trailer fee, trailer rental pretty much, but I don't have to pay for anything on the trailer. Downside is I can't take the trailer wherever I want to get service, but I've figured out ways around that. Like I pay for a PM when I go home, just because I can do it when I'm home, and it's once a year thing. It's like $500 for every PM, whatever, right? Just do what you gotta do. Don't get discouraged. Don't let anybody fucking mislead you and acting like either they're not running the same rates. Because yeah, you can sit for days and days and days. You know what? There's a guy sitting in Florida for a week. Guess what? The rates didn't change. He's still in the same situation. And if you're sitting, guess what? Truck bills aren't being paid. You're not being paid. And your bills aren't being paid. Either way, money's gotta be made. Even if all your shit's paid off, you still got bills at home. That shit doesn't stop, right? So you still gotta run at some point regardless. Could you be a lot more picky if the truck and trailer's paid off? Sure. Now, but hey, you said you're getting ready to do like 4,000 miles a week, or you're not afraid to do that. Yeah. However, though, I can do that for like a month and a half, 2 months, and then go home for 2 to 3 weeks, and that mileage averages out. There is ways to make it work. It's Wyoming, so things are a bit different trying to get home, get in and out of the house. I've been stuck at home for an extra week before in the winter. I've also said, oh fuck, here comes a major storm where it's going to shut down the whole state for like a week and a half, and then left the house like 3 or 4 days earlier than I wanted to. Are you okay, Cat? Psst. I just don't know. Like, I know it sounds like I'm putting so much thought into the negative comments, which they don't bug me. I mean, if they bugged me, I wouldn't just fucking heart reply and then be like, or heart the comment and then just like whatever, not respond, right? I'd type away like, oh my god, you're a fucking idiot too, you know. No. People are always gonna have something to say. Doesn't matter what position you're in. I mean, you could be the best fucking athlete in the world. People are still gonna criticize you because somehow they're the best athlete in that position, and some guy sitting on his couch is somehow better and knows what he's doing more than that guy who does it for a living and done it his whole life. So you know, you think these people also that if the truck is paid off and I somehow make it right, or I make it or somehow make it whatever, I mean there is luck. You think they'd be like, hey, good job, I'm sorry, right? You showed me. No, they'll find another way to fucking either tell you're an idiot, discourage you, or whatever. So, learn to laugh at these people. Learn to just kind of take in this chuckle. Because, yeah, I mean, chances are pretty high. I'll fail too. But you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong. Not everything in life you gotta do is have to be successful. Maybe it's the experience alone is worth it. Like, you go to Paris to do what? I mean, on vacation, right? Just to see things and take it in. It's the experience. What more do people want? I have a buddy that keeps asking me, how does this stuff not bother me? Like, me and this job, people on the road. It does at times, but honestly, you just kind of learn to just go roll with it. laugh at it, and just let it go. You could have a used truck and a brand new truck, and they'll both break down regardless, right? That JCT truck I had, I spent plenty of fucking time in the shop in the first 2 years in that truck. More time than this truck. There ain't no fucking wood in this truck. The blue truck, and yeah, the blue truck broke down on me a couple times too. I mean, hell, I lost my power steering on that fucker. You guys ever drive a truck going down the highway and going through cities with no power steering, and you got to make some hard turns? Could have got towed, but there's nowhere to pull over. And I was pretty sure my ability to turn it. The only downside about the power steering on a truck, though, when it starts going out, it may lock up. So keep that in mind. If you all of a sudden you're turning and it kind of locks up for like a second or two, and then it starts turning, and then slowly, you know what's going on. It's not fun. I wouldn't recommend it. It's that's definitely an experience. You're gonna talk about experience, losing power steering in a truck. But yeah, just enjoy the ride with me, okay? That's all I'm saying. Like I don't even know if Mark's still watching. Mark went off to GCT. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna make it." Then, I mean, to his credit, he came back when I said fuck it, and I left GCT, and it wasn't because money wasn't an issue. I mean, I've shown 17 checks across 2 different spans. Where I mean, there was like 10 consecutive on one stretch, and then a few months later, there was 7 more consecutive checks. Money wasn't the issue. It's not why I left. It wasn't why I left, right? It was more the company politics. That's why I left, and the minor headaches. But what may happen to me doesn't happen to everybody else, right? Like here at this company, right? What works for me may not work for everybody else, and that's okay, right? I'm not. I think you guys noticed. I'm not trying to recruit anybody here. Everybody's joined. Jason, if you're still watching, hi. Thanks for the offer for lunch. Sucks that it didn't happen, but whatever. We can always run into each other at some point. They joined their own. No, this shit ain't easy. But the problem is too, is like, it's all about averages. Company pay is gonna be like this, okay? With occasional drop, whatever. But with this, it's gonna be, it's gonna be all over. It's mountains and valleys, right? But hey, just enjoy the fucking ride, alright? Like this. Enjoy it. And come back and laugh if I don't make it. Oh well. I mean, I'll probably laugh about it too, right? Anyways, guess stay safe out there. Next time. Bye.